At the stage now, Colgate student athletes Tucker Richardson, Jack Ferguson, Nellie Cummings, and Keegan Records. Questions, please. Why don't I get this ball rolling? We'll go one at a time right down the way here. Just your thoughts about the task you have ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely super excited, but we know it's going to be a big challenge coming in as a 14 seed and playing Wisconsin in their home state. Going to be a big challenge, but I think overall we're just really excited. I think we're prepared and ready to go.
To add to that, we're just really ready for the opportunity, and we're going to make sure we take advantage of it.
Yeah, I guess to add on to both of those, yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but we're up for the challenge. We're really excited about being here, and I think we're as focused as we can be.
Definitely. So everyone's excited to be here, and we know what we have to do, yeah.
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. To any of y'all, I was just wondering, the 15-game winning streak, what's been the key? Obviously, the schedule change, you got into conference play, but what are y'all doing differently now that maybe you weren't doing earlier in the season when you were struggling a little more?
Maybe everybody can weigh in on that. We'll start with down on the end.
Yeah, I think conference started, we just started to flow a little better, play together, chemistry was just raising, and as the season went on and everyone got to play together more and more, we started to just click a little bit better, and then we've been able to obviously ride the winning streak out and look to keep it going here. So.
Yeah, there was no drastic changes that we made. We just continued with the process. We always say we're a process-based team, so we don't get affected by a win or a loss. We're just going to continue to do what we do every day, which is play Colgate basketball, and I think it finally started to click during that 15-game win streak.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. We just stuck with the process. There's no things that we really changed, but we knew that if we stuck with our process, we would eventually get these wins.
Yeah, and I think going off that, we have a really deep team, and we have a lot of guys that can step up. So if one guy's struggling or if a couple guys are struggling, we know that there's other guys that will be able to step up, and I think that's what's led to the success.
Abby Schnabel, Wisconsin State Journal. To whoever feels strongly about this, what are the aspects and certain things about Wisconsin that you guys have keyed in on as you prepare for tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I can answer that real quick. There's not a lot of keys to this game. We're just going to play Colgate basketball. Wisconsin's obviously a really good team. They won the Big Ten regular season championship, and I think we just need to remain as focused as possible.
Yeah, I think other than that, they have some really good individual talent. They have a first-team All-American that we obviously have to focus on. But like Jack said, I think we're really focused on what we have to do and our game plan rather than what they're going to do, more so.
Go ahead.
Mike Hogan of Better 24/7. You mentioned Johnny Davis there. Just what are your impressions of him, and what's it been like to prepare for a player of his caliber?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously really, really good. I don't think we're giving any secrets away to say that he's going to take a lot of shots, and we got to try and make those shots as difficult as possible. He's probably going to get his points like he always does, but we just got to make his shots tough and make it a tough game for him.
If all of you can weigh in on this, three-point shooting obviously is such a big part of your game. If the threes are going tomorrow, is that something that gives you confidence? If they're not going, finding other ways to win, how difficult is that, Tucker? And we'll go right down the line.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. We're a process-oriented team. We're not results-oriented. So if we're missing shots, let's say in the first half, we're not going to get discouraged. We got a lot of really confident guys, especially from the three-point line. And we feel like at any moment we can catch fire and get hot. And we're the type of team that can go on a big run in a moment's notice. So I don't think we're really worried about it. I think that we're going to this game super confident like we have all year, really.
Adding to that, I think, we're able to win in different ways. It's not just three-point shooting, so we want to emphasize that it doesn't just have to be one way. We can win however way we can. So.
Yeah, I think a big reason for our success is we just find ways to win, whether it's making shots or if we're not making shots, going inside to people like Keegan. But I think, like Tucker said earlier, when someone's not having a good game, someone else can step up, and I think that's what makes us, a tough team to beat.
Yeah, I agree. Just play team basketball, Colgate basketball. When we all make the extra pass to the open guy, we don't think about how they've been shooting that night or anything like that. We just make the pass to the open guy and just trust that they'll knock down the shot. And no matter how the night's going, we have confidence in all of our guys. So.
I know y'all had the win over Syracuse this season. I know you haven't won an NCAA tournament game, but Arkansas, Tennessee made both those games kind of interesting. For Tucker, I guess, What have you learned from those last two NCAA tournament experiences that you can take into this one? Is there any confidence from the fact you were able to kind of throw a little bit of a scare into those teams?
Yeah, for sure. I think that those two games, and especially last year's games at Arkansas, when we got up 14 points in the first half, we got to realize that when we're in the game with these bigger teams, they're not just going to fold. They're going to make adjustments. They're going to try and muck up the game and change the way it's played, and we have to, therefore, adjust as well. And I think last year we didn't do that. Tennessee was a little different. I think at the end they just kind of pulled away. But for sure, those are some lessons we can take, is just staying in the game that we're in, and no matter how much we're up or if we're down, realizing that we always have a shot and the other team always has a chance to come back because it's a really good team.
Anything else? All right, gentlemen, thank you. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
by Matt Langle. Questions, please.
Billy Witz with the New York Times. When you're playing a team that's so long, how do you, what's the key in creating three-point looks, clean ones?
Yeah, no matter who you're playing, to get open shots, three-point shots for us, you got to get the defense behind. So, a lot of movement, a lot of actions, whether it's a dribble handoff or a screen off the ball or on the ball. You got to execute the details of the game that you've done all year long, and then make good passes. When the arms are a little bit longer and the guys are a little bit quicker and more athletic, you've got to calculate all that into your head in the split second that you're making the decision of what to do with the ball. I think our guys have been in that moment enough and have played against enough of these teams over this season and in their careers that they'll adjust well tomorrow night.
Coach, what stands out specifically about Wisconsin's game, whether on offense or defense? What are the areas you guys have kind of keyed in on as you prepare for Friday?
I think what sticks out for me is maybe not necessarily something you can key in. How committed to the little things they are that affect winning games. And so they've played a lot of close games, but they do a lot of little things, executing screens on the offensive end, their timing and their spacing, their discipline, not to just shoot the first shot, but to really work hard to get a good shot. Their togetherness on the defensive end, their work level on the defensive end, that they don't take possessions off or parts of possessions off. So that's what's impressive the most to me. It's really hard to prepare against because they don't make a lot of mistakes, and when a team doesn't make a lot of mistakes, you can't use that against them. Sometimes if you play well enough for long enough, a team will beat itself, and Wisconsin doesn't do that.
Steve McGarvey, Associated Press. I'm just wondering, the last two NCAA tournament games y'all had, you gave Tennessee a good game, then you were ahead of Arkansas early. What did y'all get out of those that maybe you can carry into tomorrow? And do you sense y'all are entering this tournament any different than maybe those last two?
I think that every tournament, every game takes on its own identity. And we talk about that as a team a lot, that you got to play the game that you're in and be in the moment of the game that you're in. We learned that lesson in a difficult way last year at Arkansas, getting a big lead. They made some changes, style of play and lineups, and we didn't adjust. We kept trying to do what had gotten us the significant lead. And so this group over time has had a lot of those experiences, be it this season, a couple ACC games, beat Syracuse at the Dome, but over their careers, we've got a veteran group. They've been in a couple NCAA tournaments and played a couple challenging opponents each non-league, save last year. And so hopefully we're all a residue of our experiences, and hopefully that we'll be able to tap into those because it's helped create who we are. And so hopefully we'll be in the moment and play our very best.
Matt, the coaching fraternity is pretty large, and yet it can be kind of a small world sometimes. Just curious how much interaction you've had with Greg Gard over the years, if any.
Well, I just saw him as they were exiting and we were entering, and I think we both had significant, iconic coaches that helped shape who we are as people and who we are as coaches. Coach Ryan is from the Philadelphia area where I'm from. Coach Dunphy was a huge part of my basketball life and continues to be a huge part of my life. And so, I think that just having those, common beacons that, grew up in the similar areas from, similar styles of basketball and, had different careers but hugely successful careers. Yeah, there's a lot of common touch points, and I've always said that I really admire the program, not just the team that Wisconsin is this year, but the program that Wisconsin is, their consistency over the years, their ability to get guys to come to play for their institution who are extremely committed to winning and to the process of winning, especially in today's day and age where everybody's looking for instant gratification.
Coach Mike Hogan, right here, Mike Hogan from Badger 24/7. What are your impressions of Johnny Davis and what he's accomplished this year, and how have you guys gone about preparing for a player of his caliber?
Yeah, what I is most impressive for me is the jump that he made from last year to this year. I think it's a testament again to what I was just talking about, the commitment to winning and program. You know, he had a really good first year, but to make that jump and be Player of the Year in that conference and first team All-American is really impressive. Yeah, it jumps out at me is how overwhelming he can be, how he can just kind of single-handedly take a game over. I don't really know how to prepare for it. You can't take him out. He's not a guy that is going to be taken out of the game. He, you know, he finds a way to get to his spots. They get him the ball at all three levels, and he can hurt you. I think we've got to be a team of defenders. There's no secret about it. You got to, you know, he's gonna get his touches. You got to, you know, make him as inefficient as possible. You know, not try and hope that he's going to have a game where he scores, you know, 0 or 2 or 5 points, and that can be your only chance.
Matt, generally, whenever a 14 seed or you know, a low seed or a high seed is competitive in their game, you know, crowd at a neutral site will get behind them. I don't know, how difficult is that going to be tomorrow?
Hopefully you're asking me tomorrow that how did it impact the game in our favor. It'll be a great experience. I think that's what our guys are excited about. They're competitive. You know, sometimes these games at different times of the day maybe don't have a full crowd. I think that this won't be one of those. You know, certainly when we played Tennessee a couple years ago, everybody other than the Tennessee fans were pulling for us. I'm sure the game that goes before us, whoever's won that game will be pulling for us. But yeah, our guys, you know, they came to Colgate with a little bit of a David versus Goliath type mentality. You know, we didn't have championships to recruit with. We didn't have, you know, all sorts of, you know, record-breaking statistics. And so they came kind of wanting to make their mark and prove people wrong. And so I think that's their mentality all the time. So I think it'll be no different for them tomorrow night.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap it up for today. A reminder that a recording of any of the news conferences available in the NCAA Digital Hub. That's ncaa.veritone.com, VERITONE. Transcripts will be available as soon as possible and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.